And that looks live. Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Don't mind my eyes, I'm just really freaking tired right now. But yeah, shower, mostly just to keep me awake. It's not even cleanliness at this point, just I had to stay awake. Anyway, so yeah, I've been feeling a little bit burned out. If you guys don't mind, just constantly hitting up all these comic book reviews, but I love them. I love doing them. It's just, yeah, sometimes it does get a little exhausting. Whatever, it is what it is. I figured I'd actually share with you guys. Lewis over in the Geek Fortress knows this. I explained to him, and I was hoping he was going to do something about this. One of the things I like to do when I'm burnt out, when I've already watched my news channels and seen the latest of what's going on, up to date, and that's in America and Canada, it's a lot. But forget about it, man. One of the things I like to do is just sit back, turn on YouTube on my PlayStation 3, and just watch a live stream of, go figure, the Friday the 13th video game. I love watching that stupid video game, and I stayed up last night from about 8 until 1:45 in the AM watching various live streams. Absolutely insane. Just whatever, man. I love watching these stupid things. They're just, to me, they're just too much fun. Like, I would love to actually play the game, but I think I might get stressed, constantly doing the same repetition over and over again. But sitting down and watching the way that these guys do it, I don't know. For me, it's just whatever. But yeah, I was actually hoping for the longest time that Lewis was going to get the game and actually start live streaming that, but he hasn't. I need to talk to him about that. Conversation without words. Lewis, looking at you. In the meantime, oh, wow, people already jumped on. Good morning, Dick. What's up, brother? Wolf Warner, what's up, man? All right, so I got a whole bunch of good... He's talking to each other. Just ignore me. Ignore me. I'm just a face. Anyway, so, yeah, Friday the 13th video game. I was actually thinking once the comic book movies die down a little bit and I'm actually caught up a little bit, that maybe, just maybe, there's a whole bunch of things I want to do, including finish my Infinity Gauntlet stuff and the road there too, like Thanos Quest. But I really want to do some like the monster movie characters explained in a minute, because most of them have actually been comic book characters. Some of the Jason video games, some of the Jason comic books out there are actually really good. Surprising, right? Better than the Friday or than the Nightmare on Elm Street ones, but I would do him also. Yeah, just I love the horror movies. I love them, and just I don't know, whatever, that video game, it's just it makes me happy to sit down and watch Jason killing counselors and counselors trying to fight back. Just whatever. So Thanos number 9 rules this week, dude. I actually didn't even read that one yet. I've got all my comic books up because I'm not going to put any more reviews up today. I think after this, I'm going to try and take a nap, see how much longer my kids have until they go to bed. And then once they are, from their nap, once they actually go to bed, if I have the endurance for it, then I will read some more comic books and do some more reviews. Otherwise, I'll go to sleep first and wake up. And before they wake up in the AM, then I'll start doing some more comic book reviews. But either way, I'll get more up tonight. There's a bunch that I want to get out. I actually want to do Phantoma, Chapter House Comics up here in Canada. They got a Phantoma comic book out, and I can't wait to crack that open and start looking. So he caught us cheating on the exam, Wolf. It's all good. It's all good, man. But what do you call it? Okay, so let's get into this. Jeremy Latcham. I think to me this is the biggest news going, because positive and potentially negative, right? Let's see what happens here. But Jeremy Latcham, all right, works for Kevin Feige. Excuse me, worked. Let's talk about past tense here. He was just some dude working, not in the mailroom, but he was just an assistant. He was just an executive assistant doing nothing for creative over in Marvel in the cinematic universe. And when Kevin Feige came up, and literally came up in the business, all of a sudden, he brought him with him. He was a good friend. He realized that he was good people. He had a good creative mind, and he had a good mind for the business. So what he did was he brought him up. He actually picked him up. Yeah, Manuel Cabeza. Yes, I'm going to get to that in a minute. That is like the picture of the week right there. But you see I put that up there. But I'm glad to see you in the chat, man. So what happened here is this guy, Jeremy, he just got an offer to go work over in Fox Studios. That's the property that owns the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. So did this guy jump ship? Because online people are talking about, oh man, he jumped ship, he jumped ship, he jumped ship. They also said a bunch of things about Ben Affleck, which turned out to not be true. They also said something, let me just get into this really quick, Batman. they said, oh, Batman is a metahuman. Did you read the latest issue? I think it was issue number 22 of not Serpent Society, Suicide Squad, the other double S. Yeah. So in there, what's her name? See, I wasn't thinking about even talking about this right now, but the evil chick, I know her name. This is how tired I am. Anyway, she goes and says that, I need you to go out and get Killer Frost and Batman, these two metahumans. Maybe it's just a typo. Maybe it's just a misnomer. Maybe it's just a whatever generalization. But Batman is not a meta. I literally looked at him like, how is Batman a meta? I mean, realistically, if you're actually... These are people who like to read the comic book and then just surface, topologically take a look at it. But... should have been a hyenodon. I don't know, man. I'd like to see a woolly mammoth running at top speed. But they take a look at her saying this, and they just right away say, the comic book said it. It's canon. It's canon. It's canon now. He's officially metahuman. You think about back with the three Jokers when he found out, and he had the Genesis engine. And calm yourself down. Take a breath. Let it out. Right? All that good stuff. Just chillax, man. All right? You can't just go and report on something. It's not news if you just report on something you're trying to get it out first, all right? I'm not interested in getting news out first. I'm interested in getting news out right, okay? And when you turn around and you say something asinine like this, Batman is not a metahuman. And if you're actually reading the comics, and I'm talking all the comics that he's in Detective Comics, he's in Batman, he's in Trinity, he's in All-Star Batman, which I just put up today, issue number 12. Really good. It was an Alfred issue. All of these lately, their stories are Alfred issues in All-Star. Should be All-Star Alfred. I wonder if they would do that. Anyway, Zack Snyder, who's writing All-Star Batman, goes and acknowledges on Twitter. He's like, yeah, thank you, Amanda Waller. Somebody who's not stressed out jumping around from topic to topic. But they go and they say, oh yeah, he's not a metahuman. Zack Snyder says he's not a metahuman. I don't know what you guys are talking about. No, he's not a metahuman. And like I was saying, if you actually read the comics, you'll see he's weaker now than he's ever been. All right? In the history of Batman, the 70, 80, 85 years now? 80 to 85 years of Batman. And he's never been weaker. He's getting his butt handed to him left and right and acknowledging, yeah, that person could beat me up. That person could beat me up. That person just got finished beating me up. Like, he's not even that strong right now. And all of a sudden people are going to call him meta because there was a typo maybe? Somebody just not paying attention or whatever the excuse. I'm sure they're going to explain it away in the next issue. But push comes to shove. No, man, he's not a meta. And Scott Snyder acknowledged that. So stop it. Just stop it. All right? Stop trying to report news first. That's not what the most important thing is here. So likewise, people jumping on this Jeremy Latcham thing, saying that, oh, he jumped ship. You don't know that yet. We haven't had an interview from either Jeremy or Fox or Marvel or Kevin Feige. These are the four entities, all right, that I'd actually be looking to interview myself if I had that capacity, which I don't. But that's what I'd be asking. Now, maybe he did jump ship, which would seem kind of it would be kind of like a dick thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a dick thing to do if he jumped ship like that, if he just, went turncoat and went over here to try and fix things over there. But here's my theory, and maybe I'm wrong, but again, this is just a theory. My theory is that this was all planned, and this is kind of secretive, okay? When push comes to shove, the relationship between Marvel and Fox, more specifically Disney and Fox, Marvel just by proxy of being owned by Disney, is not in good condition, right? They're butting heads with each other, all right? And the biggest thumb in the eye for Fox was that they failed making a Daredevil movie, which, sorry, I don't think it was that bad. Elektra sucked, but Daredevil I don't think was that bad. Anyway, failed doing that. They dropped the ball with Blade and just didn't keep on doing things with him. And Ghost Rider, I liked the first one. I did. At least the scenes that Ghost Rider was in it, not the scenes where Nicolas Cage was in it. But the Ghost Rider scenes were good. And there was just no saving Ghost Rider 2 Spirits of Vengeance. Yeah, wrong answer, all right? But with these properties, oh, also with the Punisher, all right, they had something good. And what the heck's that dude's name? Thomas Jane. They had something good there. And all of a sudden they gave the film to, what was it, the girl who did Twilight. And they thought somehow she was going to kick some butt in this with Punisher Warzone. Wrong answer. Plus, it was called Punisher Warzone, but it was the storyline from Punisher Max. And they put, what the heck's the guy who did the Rhino? I know his name. Really good actor. But not for this. Not for this character. He was playing Mitzi. Oh, for crying out loud. I should actually think about what I'm going to say before I actually go on camera. Anyways, the really tough freaking guy from Punisher Max, you know who I'm talking about. He's played by, he's a chump stain, right? So, yeah, not impressed at all. The movie failed. It should have failed, and all those properties went back to Marvel. And what did Marvel do? Just with Daredevil alone, Fox was infuriated. How do we lose these properties? And look at what they did with the properties. Oh, my God. So, anyway, what happens here is this guy jumping ship, so to speak. Sorry, I'm just looking at Dick Fillmore down there. What happens by him moving over there, maybe it was a personal gain move where it's kind of like a thumb in the eye to Marvel and to Disney as a whole, but more specifically to Kevin Feige, his mentor. Maybe it was actually something planned. Here's why I'm giving this theory. I don't play video games, okay, which I just established earlier on. I don't play video games. I would like to, I guess, but I'd probably just get stressed out like, it's not cool. But there's a video game out. I don't know which one it's called, Marvel Legends, Legacy, whatever. There's supposed to be some kind of an app game coming out on your phone pretty soon that is a conglomeration of the Fox properties, Fantastic Four and X-Men, and Marvel itself as a whole. So Spider-Man may not be on there. I'm not sure. He might be, because Fox doesn't own, or Sony doesn't own everything that has to do with Spider-Man. Just the movie rights, specifically. So by him, and I know they're doing the animated thing, but that's with the blessing of Marvel. Marvel is allowed to do the all the animated and whatever with him. Just look at Spider-Man on Marvel XD, right? Disney XD. So, what do you call it? This video game was supposed to be a collab of these two entities. This is actually a really big deal. I mean, it's just an app game. This is just like testing out the waters, right? It's just a game on a phone, which, believe it or not, those things actually make a whole lot of money. They put them out for free. But if you want these extra perks or these things to come faster, here's a couple of quick little gold coins or ISO 8, whatever they're going to do with it. A couple first ones are free. You get the taste, right? Every drug dealer knows how this works. But the next hit, you're going to pay for. And then you get addicted to the idea of, let's move this stuff up really fast, and you start paying for it, and you wind up spending a lot more money on an app game than you do for a cartridge or a disc game on a console. A console. All right? I need some counseling right now. Sleep deprivation. So the interesting part of this is that, Fragginator, what's up, brother? So a whole bunch of good people in the chat right now. So the way that I'm looking at this here is maybe, just theoretically, Jeremy Latham jumped ship, but it was planned. It's like, listen, you can have this guy, all right? He's somebody who we can actually work with, all right? We know each other. We work well with each other. And this way, if we're going to do some kind of a collaboration, it'll go off really well. Maybe. It's more wishful thinking than anything else, but just maybe that's what actually happened. Otherwise, the guy's kind of a dick. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Let's go to the chat really quick. Okay, Batman is not a metahuman. I believe that smokescreen for Amanda Waller to take some Justice League info. Okay, you actually got me to thinking. Some really good stuff on there, Manuel. Here's why I think that you might be right on this. If you look at actual politics, we've got to have some kind of a demon entity, right? You look at, let's just go with American politics and all, because that's the way they actually work. You have to have a demon entity, a greater evil, okay? A main bad guy, so you can cut the lines, like this extremist mentality of cut a clean line, an obvious line between we're the good guys and Russia's the bad guys, or ISIS is the bad guys, or Afghanistan, well, they were the good guys, now they're the bad guys, but now they're kind of the good guys again, but there's still some issues. Okay, that's a gray line. We've got to have a clear-cut bad guy somewhere, right? It was Iraq when I was going in high school, Iran not too long before that. We've always got to have some kind of a bad guy, okay? By having this bad guy, we can now increase our spending and justify certain things, right? I'm looking at you, Patriot Act, okay? So that's the idea, is that by having a clear-cut bad guy, boom. So, Manuel, you might actually be onto something there. Amanda Waller's not stupid. She's devilishly smart. And she could be calling him a metahuman. DC could turn this around and just like hit it hard, where she's trying to say, no, he's a metahuman, all right? He's a meta. And he's one of the most powerful of them. Look, he hangs out with the two most powerful, or two of the three most powerful. I'm including Martian Manhunter in the group with Superman and Wonder Woman. He hangs out with them also. Oh my God! So this way, I need more funding and I need more privileges. I need more authority to cut some tape. Cut through some red tape. All right, that's a good possibility right there. I like that. So Knight of the Old Republic, Dark Knight of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic, you'll love that if you like Star Wars. I do, and I have played Knights of the Old Republic back in the day. It was pretty cool. I think I was only able to get up to like level 10 or something like that because I wasn't going to pay for the game, but whatever. The truth is, though, I used to play Star Wars Galaxies, and I don't think you're ever going to beat that game. There's that. That was just an amazing game. So, yeah, nothing else is ever going to live up to that for me. The original Knights of the Old Republic was sweet, a little too linear, but what can you do? Yeah, right, that was when you had that dude who was always saying meatbag. Can't remember his name right now, but yeah, that droid. KR, something like that. HK47, I think it was supposed to be. HK47. Anyway, so as opposed to an AK-47, Hunter Killer 47. So moving on. Guys, Wonder Woman, Best Pictures. The twist is epic. Did you get to see it? I don't know what the twist is. I'm sorry, I don't know what the twist is. Anyway, so Wonder Woman. Oh, good. They're messing with each other. Excuse me. So Wonder Woman, they're actually on a bid right here because through sheer luck, and I think stupidity and showing the obvious corrupt system in the Oscars. Star Trek Beyond, which had incredible makeup and prosthetics and everything in there, they got screwed out of what should have been an easy shoo-in for an Oscar, right? And it went instead to Suicide Squad. Maybe some money passed hands. Pure speculation on my part, all right? But in reality, I think that for the most part, it was just the idea of, let's try and lighten up to some of these movies, whatever. But it's such an obvious choice to Star Trek Beyond. If you saw that movie and then you watch that next to Suicide Squad, look, I'm not sitting here trying to rag on Suicide Squad. It's been done, all right? People have done that before. I liked it to a degree, all right? There were some parts that I had some real serious problems with, but for the most part, I would watch that movie again. I would absolutely watch that movie again, all right? But Star Trek Beyond blew that movie out of the water in the special effects and makeup department, all right? Like, Suicide Squad came nowhere freaking near it. But somehow they got the Oscar for it. Okay, cool. Congratulations. You actually have the, what do you call it? Ownership is 9/10 of the law, right? So, anyway, Wonder Woman is actually going to go for a couple of Oscars. They're going to try a campaign. They're going to bid really, really, really hard. And they should. And I'm proud of them for it. I'm genuinely proud of them for having the foresight to try and... They know how this stuff works, better than I do. But they're going to go on a bid for Best Director. Patty Jenkins deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. And more than maybe you think. Unless you've listened to some of my other podcasts, then you might... Anyway, and also for Best Picture. I don't know that it deserves Best Picture. In fact, in my opinion, it absolutely does not deserve Best Picture. Okay? There are plenty of other movies that have come out that I think would be better for Best Picture. Just, come on. But for the most part, yes, it was a good, and it should absolutely be nominated. It should absolutely be not. It should have the honor of being, the distinct honor of being nominated, but it should not win for Best Picture. But Best Director, yeah. I don't know if it should win because I'm not going on what directors are out there right now doing things, but at the very least nominated, possibly in the running for, definitely being a winner for Best Picture. And the reason why I say that is because you look at what Patty Jenkins had to work with. She said nice things about Gal Gadot, but you may notice that they're not going for Best Actress, right? They're not even trying for Best Actress, okay? Because they know that they're dealing with a supermodel who looks really pretty, but she doesn't have the acting chops. Not yet. One of these days, maybe. I know it's controversial. No, she was amazing. Yes, she was amazing, but not by her own devices. She's literally just that girl who wants to keep on doing the silly little pouty faces and the sexy little move the tongue across the lip thing. Look, Gal Gadot, you're beautiful. You're absolutely sexy. All those things you want to hear, there you go. But if you're looking to hear that you're a good actress, it's not going to come from me. Okay? Sorry. Just no. I've been laid before. I don't have to try and kiss up hoping that she's going to say something nice to me. I could care less. All right? But the idea here, I'm getting a little savage right now, but the idea is that they are going for this, and I'm really happy that they're going for this. This is a really good idea. And you know what? They're owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers knows they're the biggest studio out there right now. They're bigger than Universal. They're bigger than Fox. They're way bigger than rinky-dink little MCU. MCU doesn't stand a chance against something like that. Maybe Disney as a whole, they'd stand some kind of a chance, but for the most part, yeah, no. No. So, especially with the in-house argument that, Kevin Feige has rights now, and Ike Perlmutter doesn't. Oh, now we're upset. Shut up. Anyway, Marvel's not going to be getting into the bid for that stuff, and it's all politics. It's all politics. It doesn't go by box office. It doesn't go by fan voting. It doesn't go by anything except a bunch of stupid old white people, mostly old white men, who just want to sit around, I do declare, which movie do you think should be? Well, let's see, who's giving us the most lip service? I don't know. Whatever, man. It's all about hoity-toity, touting who's got the biggest yacht and things like that, and who's going to butter me up the most. And I'm not interested in that stuff. But it is a really good bid to be able to put on your DVD release, winner of Best Director, you know what I'm saying? And for what she had to work with, yeah, because, and that's not an insult on anybody except Warner Brothers. It's an insult on Warner Brothers more than anything else. She was handed all this stuff. She didn't get to choose her actress for Wonder Woman. She stated blatantly, I would absolutely not have chosen her. She was a delight to work with. She was very pleasurable, but I had to work with her. I had no choice in the matter. It was either work with her or don't work on the movie. There's your choice. So, yeah. In the meantime, a couple more people jumping in. I see right now, Sean Sandrai. What's up, brother? If I'm messing up your name, sorry. Alexis Texas is better than Margot Robbie. I remember Alexis Texas. She's the porn star with the really big butt. I have no problem saying that. She had a really big butt. Let's see. Okay, let's go up a little bit more on what we got here. Yes, I don't want to ruin. Oh, you don't want to ruin. Okay. Timo Harry, what's up? Good morning yourself, sir, fellow professor. Dick, I am your father level awesome if experienced as a player. Really? Oh, now I got to look that up. Damn. Frag, just for the Harley Quinn dress-up scene. Oh, wait. So, Dick, are you saying that Alexis Texas played as Harley Quinn in a porno? For research purposes, I might. What's funny is my wife is really cool. She actually watches porn with me. I have no problem with anything like that. I'm just not an avid viewer. But I can make an exception. Like this is Comic Book University, and I don't want to be, a hypocrite and cut out some things that are comic book related. I'm just gonna make excuses now. Anyway, what do we got here? My vote for Best Picture: The New Planet of the Apes. You know what? I haven't seen that yet. Why have I not seen that yet? If that's in theaters right now, I might have to change that. Wonder Woman deserves an Oscar. It literally saved the DCU from themselves giving it direction. Well, maybe it's not the Oscars who owe that to the movie. Then maybe it's Warner Brothers who owns that, who owes that. But like I said, Warner Brothers just doesn't care. They could give two squirts. You know what I'm saying? They've got so, like I said, they're the biggest movie studio property out there today. They've got more licenses than anybody else. So if the DCU fails, it's literally write it off. Let's move on to the ones that haven't failed yet. We got Johnny Depp. He's going to play in Fantastic Beasts 2. I'm not excited for that. I'm not excited for that. I'm just not. So what do we got? We got I haven't watched it in theaters since Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh, wow, that's back in the day. that was actually a really good. I like the some of the scenes in there. It wasn't as good as the first one, and not as good as the fourth one either. But Too Fast, Too Furious, I think it was funny. What was that one dude's name that was in it? I know his name. Anyways, like, we hungry. That dude was funny. He kind of added to the movie a lot. But for the most part, Paul Walker, he was just spending the whole movie looking at the guy going, I didn't get that. So, Preach It, Bill, and I shall. Oh, man, stop jumping. I thought she was decent, but I'll credit Patty for bringing it out. Absolutely, not just Patty, but also the co-stars and the people who she put around her. It was really well done. You know what I'm saying? Like having, again, the what was that guy's name? Charlie, the cowardly sniper who couldn't snipe. Like just doing things like that. But who will sing for us, Charlie? Like, she sucked. She sucked. Oh my God, she sucked so bad. Who will sing for us, Charlie? Hi, I did not hit her. I did not hit her. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Watch those two together. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, moving on. But she's very beautiful. Gail, you're very beautiful. I'm sure you've got a nice personality. So, hello, how is everybody? Isaiah Quinn, what's up, man? Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in the chat before, but welcome. Comment more on my videos. I'll get to know you a little bit better. Your likes, your dislikes. Everybody else here I know. Let's see. Dick Fillmore is, if Marky Mark had just did Timberlake or the bar, Gal was fantastic. Okay. No, they are not the bar. They are not the bar. Dude, like, I'm a scientist. You like, you gotta trust me. I'm a scientist. You gotta science it, okay? Guys, let me drink a Bud Light, all right? And oh my God, Mark Wahlberg. She should if she has it. Not that I know. Yeah, sure. Great casting choice, Professor. Well, thank you, Dick. Timo Harry, I have no real comment on Gal Gadot, whatever. I thought maybe she looked a bit thin to be such a strong character, though her facial looks gave a wee bit of Linda Carter vibe to me. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for me, Linda Carter is always going to be my girl. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, I did see over on the Geek Fortress Facebook page, I did see somebody put up, I forget who it was, but somebody put up a video that actually had Gal Gadot in a different movie. And she came out, and of course she's just wearing lingerie, and it's open, and it looks pretty, I guess. Girl's got no curves. She's got no curves. Sorry, I'm an older guy, you know what I'm saying? I actually like curves on my girls, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a big, whatever, I'm just... Anyway, you're very pretty, Gal. You're very pretty. So she comes out, and she's actually really tall. It's surprising how tall she is. And I guess I didn't think about it because, movies are always, the way they're always going to show from like here up or from like the knees up at best, you know what I'm saying? So like Tom Cruise is actually really short, but he looks a whole lot taller than, you'd expect because of the platforms and the movie cinema magic and camera angles and all sorts of good smoke and mirrors, baby. But they actually showed her coming out, and they showed like from head to toe next to another girl, and it wasn't like altered or anything. They were literally standing face to face parallel to each other. She's really freaking tall. So, and then just putting some muscle on her. No, I think it was a good choice in that regard, a little bit more bulky. Yes, I was on the exact same bandwagon. She should be, a bigger, person. Maybe doesn't necessarily need to be Ronda Rousey size, but couldn't wait to go to the MMA and try and find somebody who might actually be able to act. or at least some of the trainers with him, stunt double in those movies. So anyway, Manuel, yeah, new Planet of the Apes movie was awesome, and you will cry. Oh no! And I'm a big pussy, so yeah, I probably will cry. My vote goes to Logan. Okay, I'm gonna mess up your name. Makua Korea. Okay, that's actually a pretty cool name. If I'm messing up your name, sorry. Makuala Korea. Yeah, I haven't seen you around either. I would like to more. Comment on some of my, check out some of my comic book reviews so I know which ones you like, which ones you don't like, which characters you like and whatnot. But Tyrese Gibson, thank you, Frag. How do I forget that guy's name? He was up for Green Lantern. And I hope he doesn't get it. Like I don't see him as being a particularly great actor. He's good and all, but I don't want to see Tyrese Gibson as Jon Stewart. Sorry. I'd actually rather see somebody much older. They're not saying necessarily Keith David, but somewhere in between Tyrese Gibson and Keith David, Would it be, am I completely out there by suggesting that, what the hell's his name from Blood and Bone? I know his name. I love his work. I follow him on Facebook. I'm really doing. I've always been bad with names, guys. Always been bad with names. And when I'm tired, what's my mom's name again? Crap, I can't remember. So I know his name though. But yeah, him. He played in Spawn. He was the guy who played in the original Spawn movie. Which I know, guys. It's greenlit. They're going to make another. It's not greenlit, and they've been talking about making a Spawn movie on and off for a decade and a half. I'm not saying it won't happen. I just don't believe it necessarily will. Isaiah Mustafa, Dick Fillmore says, as Jon Stewart. I feel like I should know that person's face. I know the name, I don't remember the face. Linda Carter rules, but she's no Tanya Roberts. Oh, we're going old school, man. If DCU fails, Warner Brothers can replace with the Lego universe. Hey, man, this one dude did Lego Batman. All of a sudden, like, hey, you know what? You should direct the Nightwing movie. Why? Because we want Dick Grayson to be funny and to fall apart in blocks? How does one equate to the other? Just out of curiosity. I don't want Dick Grayson to just be some funny guy I wanted to actually be serious, for many parts also. He's the smiling Batman, remember? But he's still a Batman. He's still in the Bat family. So, Isaiah Quinn says, oh, I saw that scene too. Gal Gadot is really tall, by the way, Comic Book University. I love your review videos. They're awesome. I'm just bad at commenting on videos. Dude, I'm bad at doing podcasts. I'm still here. Sexy Old Spice guy. Nice. Michael J. White, thank you, is who I was thinking of. Yes, it was Timo Harry. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so comments are up to date, and now let's move on. Dune graphic novel. Guys, if you know me, you know I love Dune. My favorite novel. All right, so like if you ever trying to hack my stuff, don't try and hack my stuff, but if you ever trying to hack my stuff and you want to go in and you see they ask like one of those challenge questions, what's your favorite novel? You would be wrong, but you wouldn't be far off by suggesting Dune. That could have been one of my answers. It's literally my favorite science fiction book ever. Oh my God, I love that. But yeah, Dune, man, freaking amazing. So since you mentioned Spawn, I would agree he'd be very good for Jon Stewart. Well, thank you very much, Timo. Yeah, I think that I'm really looking forward to this. Brian Herbert, all right. Frank Herbert is the guy who actually wrote the original 6 novels for Dune. I like the first 3 better than the second 3, but whatever. Still, after that, his son Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, who is very prolific in the fiction world, those two went together and they started telling a bunch of prelude stories, and they wound up also finishing up the notes of Frank Herbert. He had two P.O. boxes that actually had the script for the final 2 Dune novels. And they worked together and fleshed out that script and made the ending of the story, which I wasn't made sense-ish, but I still didn't agree with the direction that it went, but whatever, man, that's just me. I'm a huge Paul Atreides fan. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to actually ruin anything for you guys. No spoilers here, because, oh my God, best in fiction. But I did not like the original Kevin Lynch film. I didn't like it. They changed, like, the weirding way is not a sound gun. Moa, deep, 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 deep. No, it's not. Usul, usul. No, it's not. No, it's not. There was no sound effects like that. No. But on that note, Toto was awesome. Like, great acting cast and the soundtrack done by Toto. Wow, perfect. I loved it. I could sit there and watch the closing. I can go on YouTube right after this and watch the closing credits of Dune and listen to that song, that original song that Toto made. Absolutely magnificent, man. Just beyond magnificent. And yeah, I would brave the rains down in Africa. Anyway, so I actually just saw a live band, a cover band not too long ago, and they did a lot of Toto. So I was actually thinking about putting up on the channel. I just didn't. Whatever. It's all still here, though. It's on my phone. But anyway, what do we got? They're going to do, Brian Herbert just released that on the Twitter machines. Okay, so it's the same way that we get presidential executive orders nowadays. He released on Twitter that there's going to be a 3-part Dune graphic novel based on the original Dune book. Yay! Oh, by the way, I did like the sci-fi series also. The believe it or not, it actually covered the first 3 Dune movies. Even though it was only supposed to be 2, it was the first 3. Children of Dune, part 1 of 3, actually covered Dune Messiah, which was the second book. Do I have them easily available? No, I do not. They're hidden. They're hidden behind my Star Wars and X-Men novels. Whatever. What else do I have there? Oh, I have a Predator Prey. But I haven't actually read that yet. Just picked it up recently. Okay, so they're going to make this. And on top of that, they're going to expand upon House Atreides. That was actually a book. They did the house. They did House Atreides, House Harkonnen, and what was the last one? Salahuddin. I can't remember. Whatever. The one with the grand... The guy who was actually in charge of everything. Shaddam. Emperor Shaddam. Shaddam Napes? Can't remember his last name. Anyway, that house where Shaddam was in charge of everything. They did all 3 of those houses, which was really cool. And on top of that, they also did the original, like the prequel to all this stuff, which is basically where, besides not Necroscope, what was it called? Neuromancer. Besides Neuromancer, that's where the Coen brothers got their idea for the Matrix from. Was from the Butlerian Jihad, the Machine Crusade, all that stuff. Like those 3 books, that's where they built these amazing thinking robots, and then they turned on their owners. Where we get this is why Stephen Hawking, believe I remembered his name, wheelchair dude from Simpsons. Stephen Hawking got the idea, and still to this day, that no, if we contact aliens, they're going to kill us, and if we proceed with AI, it's going to kill us too. Not necessarily. Anyway, that aside, Tesla, the guy who did Tesla, also says that stuff, but everybody else is saying no, we're good. So I trust everybody else. Anyway, they're going to make all these into graphic novels. You better damn well believe I'm going to be reviewing these because wow, I love me some Dune. I love me some Dune. Also, the last thing on here is, yes, this is my picture that's up there. Let me throw this out real quick. Did you get Marvin the Martian, Martian Manhunter crossover? Yes, I did, and I reviewed it, Dick Fillmore. Go back and check it out. It's actually really good. Father, the sleeper has awakened. Dick, you do me proud, man. You do me proud. The sleeper must awaken. So, anyway, moving on, like the picture I got there of Ghost Rider on a woolly mammoth, and they're all hellfired out. Oh, yeah. They're going to be releasing, I think it's supposed to be issue 1 of Generations, which I've already pre-ordered with the lenticular covers. Oh, yeah. I'm going all out. I'm going to try and get some signatures for those, too, with press passes. 1 million BC. So the Avengers, 1 million BC. The original Avengers itineration. It's supposed to have Odin wielding Mjolnir. It's supposed to have Ghost Rider, as you see on there. Black Panther, who looks dope. The only reason why I didn't put Black Panther on there, because he looks amazing, is because this just looked that much more amazing. Supposed to have a couple of members on this, though. A couple of members on this team. And they're supposed to be the original Avengers, and they're going to champion, and that's where this legacy of these generations comes from. So I believe that what they're going to be doing with this is, obviously it's a passing of the torch because it's all connected. Marvel always says it's all connected. On top of that, Marvel is trying to do this thing in here where they're going to officially pass the torch. A lot of these have already been officially passed, but they're going to try and make it so that, yes, I approve of you taking this identity. Some of these guys will have different identities. Some of them will have will retain the same identities. There's room for 2 or 3 Iron Men out there. There are. I mean, how many Ghost Riders did we have at the same time? This is the thing, guys. I don't remember anybody complaining when you had 2 Ghost Riders running around, plus Vengeance, which made it technically 3 Ghost Riders. Nobody complained about that. But all of a sudden you start bringing in different races. I don't like to say races. We're all one race, human race. Different ethnicities, all right, and cultures. And all of a sudden now there's an issue. Listen, man, there's room for everybody. And if you don't like the comic, don't read the damn comic. Don't solicit the comic, all right? There are people, I'm sure, they're downloading comic books. Don't even do that, because I'm pretty sure that's counted some way, somehow. It's not sticking it to the man. And why do you want to hate read a comic anyway? You know what I'm saying? So many people, I hate Riri Williams. Well, why are you reading Riri Williams? You don't like Riri Williams? Stop reading her. This is just like being bullied online. Like, I'm a child from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the same thing for me. Anybody tells me, oh, yeah, you could be bullied on the internet. No, you can't. They could do for a couple seconds, and then you turn off the computer or block them or give them the middle finger. You can't be bullied on the internet when you can just turn it off. It's not a big thing. And don't care about what people say about you. I am a personality on YouTube. You don't think people are saying things about me? You don't think that people have negative opinions on me? I've seen it. So, who cares? You can't be bullied on the internet. You don't have to allow it to get to that level where you actually give a rat's ass what people say about you. Likewise, why would you read a comic book that you don't like? If you hate Riri Williams so much, read something else. It's not that hard. I actually like the Riri Williams comic books. I don't have a problem with her being a good guy. I don't see why she's got to be a bad guy. I don't see her as being a bad guy at all. And like I said, the same things everybody's saying about Riri don't actually apply to Riri. They apply to Dr. Doom. But regardless, stop hate reading comics. It doesn't make sense to me. Read what you like to read. Don't read what you hate to read. Why do that to yourself? Anyway, so 1 million BC is supposed to be the first part of this. The art on this looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this stuff. Ooh, I'm going to get to a comment really soon. I can't wait to see some of this stuff. I'm just going to get to some of this stuff right now. What do you think of Jason Aaron during the Marvel Legacies one-shot? Also, do you believe, this is Isaiah Quinn asking me, do you believe Jason Aaron is leaving Marvel, or is Marvel giving him another big book after he finishes Thor? If they allow him to leave, big mistake. Huge mistake. But I'm sure, you know what? After Thor, honestly, I think it's almost like he should have the pick of the litter. Not a Spider-Man title, because we've already got 2 of them out, like 2 Peter Parker Spider-Man titles out. Plus, he's in the Avengers comic book right now. But for the most part, and what's his name? Dan Slott already said, I'm not leaving Spider-Man. So take it for what it is. I don't have a problem with Dan Slott. I know a lot of people do, and I understand. Believe me. But, Jason Aaron is awesome, and I do believe he should essentially have the pick of the litter. And I think that, honestly, if he's leaving Thor, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm hoping that everything's going to work out. I really hope he's not leaving Thor. I hope he's going to stay on, because we do, for the most part, I think that most of us understand that Jane Foster is going to die. Like, that's in the comics. Like, they're saying it over and over again. She's going to die. She's dead. She's already dead. All right. So, yeah. If that's a foregone conclusion, I would actually like to see Jason Aaron stay on and continue his story. Instead of just bringing Thor back to the status quo that he was before. I'd much rather it see something. I'd rather the story actually mean something, because right now his love-hate relationship with Mjolnir is, to me, epic. It's so epic. I love it. It's like, oh, you again. It's just perfect. You weren't sentient for me. Frag, I thought that was Ty in the Marvel game. Oh yes, yeah, Ty's evil, but I love it, man. I've been playing for Ty or with Ty for about 2 years now in different games, and he is freaking awesome. Honestly, like there's nobody I'd rather play with than Ty, even though he definitely gets us into trouble a lot. Timo Harry, I like Dune 2, too, due to the Reverend Mothers. They are awesome, and you know what? There's this girl who I used to work with, and she mentioned something. She says the voice that the Reverend Mothers do, that Muad'Dib was able to do eventually, that voice, that's the voice that all mothers have, you know? Me, as a father, my voice is, hey, get to bed! But for mothers, yeah, I can see it. Okay, guys, we're going to do you're going to get to bed right now. Like when the devil comes out, So I wonder if maybe that's where Frank Herbert got that from, because it's a good possibility. So nobody can beat Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, though. Best casting ever. Yeah. And they walked into that, Frag. They were originally, I think I mentioned it last week, they were originally trying to get Tom Cruise to do that, and Tom Cruise turned it down. I don't think it would have been bad if Tom Cruise would have done the movie, but none of the other actors would have been making nearly as much as they are now, because Robert Downey Jr. is really genuinely good people. I'm not saying that Tom Cruise isn't. I don't know his behind the scenes like all that. I just know he's a great actor, and he is more than willing to fight for himself. I don't know how well he is at fighting for other people. I just don't know him that way. He should probably consider putting out a book, But he is a big money draw. So I can see why they were going with him originally. But it fell into like perfection that Robert Downey Jr., that they took this chance on Robert Downey Jr. And finally, God bless him, he's, staying on the wagon. You know what I'm saying? For once. Dick Fillmore, I thought that Bashenga was the first Black Panther 10,000 years ago. That I don't know, because they're going back 1 million years ago now. And Bashenga, I'm going to have to really look that one up. You might have caught me on that one, dude. Good one. Missed Black Panther, Conan the Barbarian arc opportunity. Yeah, right? Yeah, plus this new Marvel Legacy thing, it's actually supposed to rewrite the Marvel Universe. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Dick, you bring up a really good point. The Marvel Universe is actually based on the Hyborian age of Conan, right? Howard E. Phillips? No, Howard. Oh, for crying out loud. See how bad I am with names, especially when I'm tired? I know this guy. I've read several of the Conan books, and one of the Cull books. Not a bad movie, just not the same. But forget about it. Like, Marvel had the first license to make the comic books for Conan. So, and they had the license for the Transformers, for Rom, the Space Knight, for the Micronauts, for all these original really good, the Visionaries, which is now going to, I just talked about that last week. I'm really excited that IDW is finally going to do something with the Visionaries. Marvel had all of that stuff, and they based a lot of their history on that. We'll never see, we're going to have actually have a retcon how Rogue got Captain Marvel's, Carol Danvers' powers, because that happened in the pages of Rom, the Space Knight. So that's the reason why people are like, yeah, how did she get those powers again? It was in Rom. So hopefully Marvel's learned their lesson, and they're not basing, stories on each other anymore like that. But yeah, after the apocalypse and the Great Flood, the sinking of Atlantis, the post-Hyborian age, the post-Cataclysm age, that's actually what Marvel's history is based on. You just look at the old Doctor Strange comic books alone. You're done. You're done. You understand that it is all based off of that. The original Serpent Crown affair from the original Serpent Society, the Serpent Crown stuff, all that, it's based off Hyborian age Conan. So rewriting the Marvel history, it could really use a good reboot. You know what I'm saying? Not even a reboot, excuse me, a retcon. It could really use it. Let's see. Frag, I would have hated Tom Cruise in the role. Not a huge fan of his. I don't blame you. Robert E. Howard, thank you. Doug Vihovic. Oh, shoot, Doug, my editor-in-chief. The I don't know what your exact title is, but Big Boss Man, J. Jonah Jameson. I basically report to this guy. I've got to be nice to him. I have to report to this guy when I submit my Nerdicy articles every Monday. Oh crap, that's due in 2 days. Yeah, ideas. What should I write about? But figures Doug would remember that. Let's see. Timo Harry, one blockbuster potential comic book movie for Hollywood is Marvel superheroes versus Godzilla. Let me tell you why that's not going to happen. If all rights owners could just come together, it would go down in history for the highest grossing film. Timo, you're a dreamer, and the world needs dreamers, man. I'm gonna and this does not apply to you, but I'm gonna make a quote from World of Warcraft in the Elven cities, where it says, "Yeah, the world needs dreamers. The world also needs ditch diggers." So the guys outside in the the level 10 area, the main area, I forget what it's called. It's been so long since I played World of Warcraft. Digging ditches. So when you see that one guy digging a ditch, he tells you that story of why he's digging the ditch, and it's based off of that comment. But what do you call it? Yeah. Marvel had the rights to, this is one of the things they had the rights to, Godzilla, and I think they put out 25 issues. Yeah, it was actually not too bad. They wound up shrinking Godzilla at one point. So he was like Godzuki size, and he was still a menace, and then they got rid of him. And then eventually, because they bought they rented the license from Toho, but there was still a lot of caveats to it. So they said, listen, you can't have him get punked. You will not have, like, Hercules one-shot, what's his name, Godzilla. You will not have that, all right? You got to go by this rule and this rule and this rule. And Marvel sold the comics, and they did, surprisingly well. But for the most part, the comics weren't that entertaining. Sorry. There was a character named Red Ronin who was created during that time. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. I used to actually own his first appearance. I found myself a month ago looking to try and find that first appearance again. And in the Godzilla comics, they didn't have number 1 in there. I don't think they had issue number 2 in there either. Number 1 was actually up on the wall for like $40. I'm like, yeah, not this week. But what do you call? Oh, I did get, Dick Fillmore might be really happy to see this. Booyah! I did get this when I got my, so I re-added this to my collection. I just put this story up last week, I think it was. I think last Saturday is when I did this one, the Marvel 2-in-1. Also, besides my regular comics, I did also get this issue of Killraven, issue number 31. You know why this comic book is special? This is the first interracial kiss in comic books, specifically in a Marvel comic book. Marvel was, anytime somebody says, oh, Marvel, you got issues with diversity. No, they don't. And for the most part, they never really have. Maybe they weren't as good as, today they could have been, the standards back then, but they were surprisingly good. Yeah, this right here, like, people talk about, oh, the first kiss in movie cinemas was Charleston Heston in Omega Man. And the first interracial kiss, I hate saying that term, interracial, interethnic kiss in TV was Captain Kirk and Uhura. You know what I'm saying? In Star Trek, yes. Well, this was the first interracial kiss in comic books, so complete your collection, guys. But, yeah, huge fan of just grabbing all this stuff. I'm not even interested in getting the whole Killraven series. I didn't like Killraven. He sucked, kind of. But anyway, yeah, I like the history stuff of it all. So, yeah, I don't even know where else to go with that. But as far as, got like that will never happen. Marvel's not going to spend that exorbitant amount of money again to make a Godzilla comic book or to do a Godzilla crossover. Yeah, it could make a lot of money, but for the most part, like, they wouldn't even really be able to make it believable. Like Godzilla versus the Hulk. Do you know how many people are going to be complaining when they have Godzilla versus King Kong? Right? Like, as it stands, whatever. We'll see. But celebrity, just another dude. I agree, Doug. I definitely agree. Plus, the only time, I'm going to tell you guys a story. The only time I ever met a celebrity enters the chat. Hi, Doug. Yep. Here, Conan the Barbarian, Forgotten Gem of comic book films. One block. Okay, and that was okay. So I'm caught up. So yeah, Doug, I'm going to agree with you. The one time, I'm going to tell you a quick little story here that I actually got fan struck was I met Jerry Cantrell. He is the lead guitarist for Alice in Chains. Yes, they have reformed. They are still technically together. They haven't, quit, even though the drummer just overdosed after Lane Stanley overdosed, and that was the initial end of Alice in Chains. He was the original singer, just originally from Mad Season. Yeah, love the band. But I actually went, and his second solo album, Jerry Cantrell, I bought the CD, and I walked up in the line and I was talking to him. And I was like, hey, what's going on, man? You're the man. You're awesome and stuff like that. And I was like, listen, hey, the one song that you got, I think it's song number 10. The heck was the name of the song? There's one line in there where it says "sleeping babies, keeping him alive." It was basically a song about a guy who I guessed it right. It wasn't that hard. He was looking in a mirror with a gun to his head, contemplating committing suicide. And I was asking him about that, and he's like, "Yeah, that was actually my uncle." I was like, "Oh shoot!" So also I'm like, "Wow, this just got a little bit personal. Wow." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm just wondering about the term, the line in there, "sleeping babies, keeping him alive." Like, what does that mean? And I wanted to ask more, but I guess like he realized that he got a little bit too personal with a fan, and then he got snippy really quick. He snapped, and he was like, "It's his kids. Listen, man, I got a huge line of people here." I was like, "Okay, have at thee, man." And I walked away. Like, that's actually what I said. "Have at thee, man." Like, I got Shakespearean or Thorian on him. And I, like, just walked away. But I was just, like, I was a little bit confused. Because, like, dude, I was already walking away. You're the one who one kept on talking to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, because I made a funny joke. I was like, I walked up to the first thing I said to him was like, "Jerry Cantrell, thanks for bringing your crappy Seattle weather here to Jersey," because it was raining like profusely outside, and everybody in the freaking who was standing in the two lines, the paid line and the let's see if I can finagle a quick little sign my handkerchief or something like that, sign my notebook, everybody in the store was like "Oh shoot," like, and he was laughing. He's like, "Nice one, dude, nice one." What do you call it? But so he was like talking to me, and I was trying to walk away because I know I was like, I think third in line, fifth in line, at worst fifth in line, and I knew he had a huge line of people, and he didn't want to be there for longer than an hour. So I'm trying to leave, and he just like he said that to me, and I was just like, wow. I looked at the signature. I actually got two signatures, and it wasn't even the whole band. It was just him. There's supposed to be two more guys, and they didn't show up. And he signed a poster for me, and he signed my CD, which I lost in my move in 2011 with all my comic books. But I was just like, wow, what a dick. So I was like, you know what? Fuck celebrities. Plus, he was promoting the band that night. Nickelback was playing in Asbury. This was in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Nickelback was playing. I met him in Ocean, but whatever. Nickelback was playing in Asbury Park in the. It was either in the Convention Hall or in the Paramount Theater, one of those two. And he showed up on stage and he started supporting them. And we all know about Nickelback. So you know what? Fuck you, Jerry Cantrell. How dare you insult me like that? So anyway, that's what I think about celebrities also. So, yeah. Do you think Bendis, Isaiah Quinn asked, oh no, I jumped, stop it. Do you think Bendis should take over after s.h.i.e.l.d. and Marvel, since he has been at Marvel for so long and has written some amazing books? If not, who would you pick to take over for Axel? Well, here's the thing. I think you know this because of the way that you phrased it. But for anybody who doesn't know, Axel Alonso actually got that job because Joe Quesada stepped down. That was originally Joe Quesada's job, and then he got a promotion on top of that. So he had both, and he was like, I can't handle both of these titles. So I'm going to leave this position and stay with this higher position. So he's chief creative. That's above chief editor. So, yeah. So Axel Alonso was promoted to that position. So Brian Michael Bendis, there's going to be a lot of people who will say, no, he sucks. No, he made Iceman gay. Both of them. Yeah. But at the same time, Joe Quesada, made Spider-Man give up his marriage to Mary Jane for Mephisto. Like, that's the most hated comic, hated storyline, hated person in Marvel Comics, in comic books, period. So, yeah, I think that if Quesada could live his life after that, I think that Brian Michael Bendis could do that also. Yeah, I think that possibly, yes. Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad choice at all. It would be keeping fans in charge. And Brian Michael Bendis is absolutely a fan. Yeah, I think that if he were overseeing things, it might be better. It generally might be better. In the meantime, half hour before the Nerdicky live chat should start. Sorry, I'm just all over that stuff. So, Timo Harry, Professor Bill about the ditch digging. Nice. Doug, what if Conan the Barbarian were stranded in the 20th century? Was one of my favorite comics as a kid. Well, guess what, dude? The current storyline right now actually has there's a Conan story where he is currently in the modern universe, and there's Red Sonja in her comic is in the modern universe. They just started a Cole comic, and he's also in the current Marvel universe. That's over in the IDW comics, so you can actually relive that in an ongoing series. I believe they're up to issue 10 by now. Yeah, so by all means, check it out, man. I'm not reviewing it because somebody actually asked me to review one of those two, the Red Sonja or the Conan, and I genuinely wanted to, man. It's just, I'm dying right now trying to, review all the comics I currently got. So anyway, yeah, go and check those out, man. What do we got here? Angel Eyes is a great tune. Yes, off of that same album that I got signed. Any news about the Tick comics in production or soon to be? Yes, there was, and I don't know what it is right now. I'm sorry, Timo. There is something in production because the movie's coming out, and I think it was you who actually asked me, but somebody did ask me to do the later on. Timo Harry says, and pardon me, Professor, the Tick may not be mainstream enough for, and more than likely kind of niche for a comic. Though it has for some fans. No, people know the Tick. People know the Tick at the very least from that old cartoon back in the day. Spoon! Makes me wish I had a spoon. I have a pen. Pen! No, he said spoon. So, and the chin. Like, everybody knows that stuff. And there's going to be the, not Netflix series, but I think it's Amazon Prime series coming out. So, yeah, I am going to do an Explain in a Minute for that. I have to finish the Inhumans in a bad way. Speaking of which, if you checked out my Twitter, or if you checked out the blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm going to mention the Geek Fortress. I put up a hint of what my next one is going to be. So my next Explain in a Minute and Spotlight a Story. Frag is leaving. All right, see you later, man. Comic Book University. He also says, Fragnator says, going hiking today? Nice. Gonna miss a Nerdicky live chat? That sucks. Give my regards if you pop in at Doug Vihovic. I think both of us will. Yeah. Dude, enjoy that hike, man. I'm actually going on vacation next week. I'll still be doing my stuff, just whatever. Oh, Dick, I met George Clooney. He is that cool in real life. Waved off camera crews to BS with me. Okay, that really is freaking cool. Okay, that actually lifts up my opinion. And it wasn't low. It was only low because of the Batman and Robin movie. But that credit card, never leave home without it. But that is actually really cool to wave off camera crew to go and talk to an actual human being person. That is freaking awesome. Timo Harry, and pardon me. Oh, you just said that. I just read that. Doug, got to sneak out of class early. There's nerdy work to be done. Go do what you got to do. Plus, I do see the chat is falling off. I am past the hour mark. Okay, so I'm caught up with the chat. Guys, I'm going to put it up right about now. Here it comes. Here it comes. Which one is first? Okay. I'm going to put up a spotlight on story, as I try to do every Saturday. And it is going to be on the 6-issue miniseries, limited series by Warren Ellis. It is the Karnak, issue 1 through 6 of 6. And boom, that is officially published. You can go check that. It's actually an hour long. I do a little cosplay for that. You might like it. You might also say, Professor Bill, you're such a dork. And yes, you wouldn't be wrong. On top of that, since I did that, I'm going to have to do my twice a week, every Tuesday and Saturday. I put up an Explained in a Minute. Since I did Triton last Tuesday, Saturday, here is Karnak Press, and he's live. So you can check out Karnak Explained in a Minute and the Karnak 6-issue limited series by Warren the Man himself, Ellis. It is an hour long. Sorry. It is 6 issues I'm going through. Anyway, yeah, and I was up all night doing that. I finished at about 5 a.m. this morning. Anyway, that is it for me. Let me just check to see if anything else came up. Boom, boom, boom. Got a sneak. Nope, nobody else in chat. Okay, good. So that's all I got. I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my day. And then tonight I'll be doing some more comic book reviews. I got a few more to put up. Again, Phantoma. Really looking forward to that one. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Later, guys.